Hi, today I'm excited to show you one of my favorite features of Google Sheets, and that is how to filter in Google Sheets. Google Sheets mean a lot of things to a lot of people, and a lot of times you're using it for a lot of databases. And what I mean by databases is it's a collection of information that you need to sort or filter out to find out the information that you need to get. Today we're going to show you how to use the filter option in Google Sheets. So first we're going to look at a hypothetical class sheet. We're getting ready to go on a field trip. And I've got my student information here. You've seen my previous videos. I keep one list of all of my students in a file, and then I copy that for use in other different things. So I copied my 6th grade class, and I'm going to rename it to be our zoo field trip. And I'm going to use it to keep track of tasks that the students have completed so we can get ready for this field trip. I have the students' names. I did include parent email because that was in my original sheet. And I have 3 questions that they have to fill out. One is, did they turn in a permission slip? 2, did they turn in their money for their ticket? And 3, is one of their parents going to come to chaperone? Now, when you have this information in there, I'm going to scroll down and you'll see I've got more information. First, we're going to show you some of these things you might already know, but I'm going to cover them anyway, just to cover all my bases. First is freezing the top row. You notice when I scroll down, I don't know what row goes to what. Over here, this big thick line, your pointer turns into a hand. I don't have a name for this, but it allows us to freeze a row. If I drag it down, I can freeze just the first row. And now as I scroll through my document, that first row stays up there. That's going to be very important a little bit later on when we do the filter. If I want to put that back, I just drag that line back up. And I can, if there was more information that I wanted to freeze, I could freeze the top 3 rows. But our data here, we just want to freeze the top row. You can also do it vertically by columns. So I can drag this over, and that's going to freeze this first column. And if I had more information, as I drag it over, I can always see the student's first name. That won't be that important with this because our spreadsheet won't be that wide, but if it was being pretty wide, we could freeze that first column. But I'm not going to do it today. So we freeze our first column. Now I can go through here and put in which students have filled out information, which students have turned in their permission slip, who's turned in their ticket money, and who is going to be a chaperone. That's well and good. That was the first day they turned in their data. As we get closer and closer to our field trip, I don't want to see people that have already turned in their permission slip and their ticket money. I want to know who has not turned in their permission slip and or who has not turned in their ticket money. We do that with a filter. You could sort, but a filter works better, and you'll see in a second. Under data, there is a create filter. Now when I select that, you notice it automatically highlighted what it thought was my data in the spreadsheet. Sometimes, I'm going to undo. Sometimes just to make sure it does it correctly, I will click in the big white area in this box, which will highlight my whole spreadsheet, and then I'll turn on the filter. Just to make sure. It'll solve you some headaches later on. Now after you turn on the filter, you'll see that there's a new little downliney thing. I'm sure it has a name, but that's how we can filter. So if I move over here to my permission slip, it has different options for me to filter. Right here, I can filter, right now it's X's are selected and blanks. Well, I just want my blanks. So if I click on the X, it's going to uncheck it. And now as soon as I hit OK, it's going to hide all of them that have not turned in a permission slip. So now I know these people, I can do their parents. I can copy this, and if I go to Gmail, start up a new message, we're going to use blind carbon copy. So the parents don't see everybody else that got the message. But to use a blind carbon copy, you still need a regular email address in the two. I'm just going to use my address, and I'm in my training account. So what we're doing here is we're taking the parent emails that have not turned in a permission slip, and I'm going to send them a quick email. So I put my email address in the training, and then under blind carbon copy, I just pasted. Now let's do that again so you can see that. I highlighted them, copied, went to Gmail, and paste. And it automatically throws in all of their email addresses for me. And it's in blind carbon copy, BCC, so Erica's parents will not see Geraldo's emails. And we can put in our message, permission slip. Your student has not turned in, yada, 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 the permission slip, and then I can send it. So that's our first usage of filters. I can easily find out who has not turned in their permission slip. When the filter is on, you'll see the little, it turns into a funnel looking thing. I can see that it's turned on. I can select all, and this is going to select all the rows again, and the filter goes away. So I know which columns I'm filtered on because it'll have a funnel. Now, let's say I want to find out the students that have turned in a permission form but have not paid yet. So underneath my permission, I want the X checked because I want the ones that the students have turned in their permission slip. But under ticket, I want the blanks. So these are students that have not turned in theirs money. I can say okay. And I can do my same thing. Select these parent emails, go to Gmail, blind carbon copy, send these parents a reminder saying the student still owes fees for their ticket for the zoo. And you'll see the little funnel selected for both. Really, really quick and easy way to filter down that information, and I can drill down and find the information I want. And if I go through and select all on each one of those, I can get rid of the filter. And now I'm seeing all of my students in my spreadsheet again. That's our example with our zoo field trip. Makes it really easy to find that information. Another way you might use a filter is when you are trying to go through data. Say you have a common assessment that all the 6th graders have taken, and you want to see the students that have scored lower than a certain percentage, so you can give those students extra help and find out what they need. I have how a lot of teachers do this. This is not the way I would recommend doing it. And we'll see that why in a second. But a lot of teachers will use, at the bottom here, we have our 4 classes, and they'll put a different sheet for each one. Well, that's okay, except now I can't see all of the information at once. If I wanted to do a filter and show me all the students that got below a 70 on the test, I'd have to do it on all 4. That's not what we want to do. What I recommend doing is, when you're doing something like this across several classes, don't put a sheet for each one. Put them all into one sheet. And that's what I have right here. I have a new column called teacher. And what that means is, I'm going to freeze my row just like I did the other one. I'm going to click on the little white box to highlight my whole spreadsheet and create a filter. Now with the filter, I have a lot of the same tools that I have when I broke the classes up by sheet. If I only want to see Hall's grades, I uncheck, I can hit clear to clear them all and just show me Hall. And now I'll just see Hall's grades. Exactly the same as if I had a separate sheet that I would click on. Where this comes in, whoops, Where this comes in handy is now I want all of the students who scored less than 70. Well, not only can you select the values, and there's going to be a lot because it has all their scores, we can filter by condition. So I can go down here and say less than or equal to 70. Actually, I want less than 70 because I don't want 70. I don't want scores 70 and above. So I'm going to say filter by condition less than 70. Say OK. Now it's only giving me the students that have done less than 70. So I can see across all 4 classes right away, these are the students that, if I was an administrator or if I was a teacher lead, I can say, okay, these are the students that need help, and we know exactly who their teacher is. And I can still filter, clear this, and just show me all of Hall's students. There's all of Hall's students, and you notice little funnels turned on, so I'm filtering on both of those. Here's all of Hall's students that were less than 70. A lot quicker to find the information you want, keeping them all in one spreadsheet. Instead of back here, I would have to do that for each one, and then I would have to copy and paste, and yeah. I try to tell people, put them into one spreadsheet as much as possible, and you can always filter. So I'm going to turn off this filter, and we'll see all of them again. Finally, we can save filter views. What that means is other people can use our filter without knowing how the filter view works. So filter is still turned on. So I'm going to create my filter and say it's going to be where it is less than 70. Now that filter's turned on, underneath data, under filter views, there's a save as filter view. So when I do save as filter view, it names it Lamo filter 1 less than 70. And what they're saying here is everybody that this spreadsheet is shared with also has access to these saved filters. So this is the name of our filter, less than 70. If I want to turn it off, I can just hit the X and it'll be turned off. So let's turn this filter by condition off too. So now we're seeing all of our scores. If I go up to data, under filter views, there's a new one, less than 70. When I click that, it automatically filters. You'll see that on there. And it only shows me the students that are less than 70. I can add additional students to the spreadsheet, hit the X to turn that filter off. I can add additional students to the spreadsheet and run that filter again and still see those updated students. You can also, you notice these are not in too good an order, but because we have this header row and it's frozen, let's sort. We can sort across. You might have seen when you mouse over, this is a freebie. When you mouse over, you can sort, but that'll only sort that column. We want to sort more than just that column. See the sort up here? But to sort, we need to highlight it first. Sorting has nothing to do with filter. In fact, we're going to turn off filter just so you can see what the sorting does. But sorting needs to know what you want to sort. Remember the little box over here? I like to click on it, highlights everything. That way we know we're getting everything to sort. Once that's highlighted, under data, there's a sort range. So first, my data has a header row. I want to sort by teacher, then by last name, then by first name. Now this is going to resort our entire spreadsheet, keep all the teachers together, all the students in the same class together, and then sort their names, last name then first, because you'll see over here Chad and Terrence, that's not in alphabetical order. When I hit sort, now they are in alphabetical order by teacher. So they're still grouped by teacher, but they're in alphabetical order by that teacher. So if you added another one down here, you could do that sort and do it again. So let's go through that same process so you can see it. First, to sort your data, click on the big white box to highlight everything. Go to data and then sort range. Your data has a header row. That's what this row is called, that has first name, last name, ID, and all that fun stuff. It'll replace this column A with actual what's in that cell. So I want to sort by teacher, then by last name, then by first name. And it'll put all of our classes together still, and then each class is sorted. The filter view in Google Sheets is very, very powerful. It just takes a little bit of time to get the hang of it, but once you start using it, it becomes almost an essential part of your Google Sheets toolkit. One thing to be aware of is when you do apply a filter, if that sheet is shared with somebody and that person doesn't quite understand filters, they will send you an email saying, hey, you shared the wrong sheet with me. None of my students are in there because you had filtered on your class. I get this a lot. I'll put it together. I'll do an entire building and share it out with the teachers. Just filter on your name. And if another teacher filters first, and when they open it up, they won't see theirs and they'll get confused. So remember to go in and look at the filters, because you'll see the little funnel shape if it's filtered on that row, and you can change it. But that's just a little quirk that Google Sheets for some reason does to, I guess, keep you on your toes and make you happy. So that's it for today. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also check out my website at educate.me. Stay classy.